Yo, what is going on, guys? Sabrtooth back on Madden Mobile, and today we are going to be doing Madden Mobile 18 wide receiver rating predictions. So far I've done quarterback and halfback. Both of those were a while ago, and today we are finally doing the wide receiver ratings. Now, guys, keep in mind, before I start this video, none of these are obviously the actual ratings of the players. These are just what I think the ratings could be. I'm no NFL expert, obviously, but I do have a decent idea of what these players could be rated in next year's game. There's going to be a lot of upgrades, a lot of downgrades, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think. So if you think that any of these players should be rated differently, let me know down in the comment section. I will gladly respond to your comments if I can, and if there's anyone I left out, because I'm only doing kind of the top wide receivers. If you guys are thinking of like wide receivers that would be rated around 75 or 76, I'm not going to include them, but you guys can feel free to put some rankings and ratings down in the comments below. So let's get right into it, guys. Here we go. I think you already know who the top wide receiver is going to be. I think it's going to be 90 overall wide receiver Antonio Brown. He has kept his place at 90 overall, I think, from last season, and he had a great season once again this year. And 90 overall, I don't think they're going to push him up to 91, but this is the perfect card. I can see them pretty much almost just putting out this exact same card. This card was worth so many coins at the start of the year, and it's going to be a really good pull to get once again Madden Mobile 18, because I assume he's going to be 89, 90, or 91, something in that range, but definitely a top wide receiver. But this year, guys, I think a new player is going to be joining him and sharing that #1 spot, and that is going to be Julio Jones of the Falcons. Now, he was 89 last year, and I think this year he moves up to 90 overall as well, really helping to lead the Falcons to the Super Bowl. Had some crazy catches, and a lot of people are starting to think he may become one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. I don't know if I believe that yet, but if he has another solid season, 2, 3 more, I mean, he's definitely going to be in contention for one of the best wide receivers maybe in NFL history. So I think he's going to be at 90 overall, just like Antonio Brown. At the third spot, this is kind of a toss-up. It really could go either way, and this guy could be rated either 88 or 89, I think, and that is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. This year, I believe he was an 88 overall, and I can see him being either 88 or 89 once again. He had a good season, and he always stays up there. EA really likes Odell Beckham Jr., obviously the cover boy of Madden 16, so he's going to stay high rated. But another guy joining the party up at that 88, 89 overall is going to be AJ Green, moving on up. I believe he was 87 this year, and AJ Green, I think he flies under the radar all the time. Like, people just don't talk about this guy as much as they need to, because AJ Green has had a really good career, but it's just getting overshadowed, I think, because of how bad the Bengals have been playing these past couple years. But AJ Green, his best card in this game is like that 97 coaches one, and that's really rare, and it doesn't do him justice. He should have a 99 overall card. Another player who came out of just nowhere to dominate last season, Mike Evans. I think he's going to get an 88 overall card this year. That seems like the perfect rating for me. This year, he started all the way down at an 82 overall, this card right here. And he's going to be a good card because he has big size. He's going to have good speed, good hands, good jumping. This is going to be a really solid card at the beginning of the year. And a lot of people say he may be the divisional MVP, Mike Evans, for the NFC South. So even will he be a better player than Drew Brees in that division, than Matt Ryan? I don't know, but Mike Evans going to get a huge upgrade. Another guy that's just staying solid is going to be, well, one guy that is staying solid is going to be Jordy Nelson on the Packers. Nelson had a crazy season last year, but I think he's going to stay just at around an 86, purely because, like, I don't think they can upgrade his speed really or his strength. He's never really, I don't know, I don't want to say he hasn't had elite speed, but his catching and just how clutch he is the reason why he's good in the NFL. I don't know if they'll be able to reflect that in his stats, but I think he'll stay at an 86. Good bounce back season, and keep in mind, he wasn't even really fully healthy for like half of that year. So Jordy Nelson gonna stay in elite. Keep in mind, guys, a lot of these ratings are gonna be elite. really, these could fluctuate by like 1 or 2 overall. So some of these borderline elites could be golds, or some of these borderline golds could be elites. So don't take any of these too seriously. But T.Y. Hilton is a guy who I think can move up from gold to elite, probably at around an 86 range, similar to Jordy Nelson. I believe he started this year at an 83, and I think we'll see an 86 from. The only thing holding him back, I think, he doesn't get that many touchdowns. Now, granted, the Colts offense is kind of lacking, but he has never scored more than 7 touchdowns in a single season, which is pretty surprising for a guy who puts up 12, 13, 1,400 yards every single season. Another guy who's just the definition of consistency is Doug Baldwin. He really does fly under the radar, and Doug Baldwin, I think he stays at just around the same range, 85, 86. He was undrafted, and he's proven himself consistently as one of just the most solid wide receivers in the league. Doesn't do anything like spectacularly, but he just makes the catches. He's pretty quick, got good hands, and he's a really clutch player. So Doug Baldwin, I think he stays at around that 85 to 86 range. Larry Fitzgerald, an absolute legend, just got a really, really good boss card. And there was talks of him retiring a couple seasons ago, but now I think he can play for another 1 or 2 years. I don't think he stays at 86. I think he goes down to 85, but he's definitely still an elite caliber player. Really good leader, team leader. He's a fighter, clutch player. Really good hands, good jumping, good size. I think he stays at just about an 85. Now, this one is I think it's going to be controversial, but Julian Edelman, he's so close. Like, he had a really, really good catch in the Super Bowl, and I don't know, his speed and his strength, similar to Jordy Nelson, I can't see them moving that up that much. But EA, I don't know, I think they like the Patriots. I could see him being an 84, 85, very borderline elite. And yeah, I think he deserves it. Probably an 85 for Julian Edelman. But another player that's going to be pretty controversial is Dez Bryant. Now, he's been just on the downfall these past couple of years. Been riddled with injuries. And last year, they moved his basically down to only an 85 overall. Used to be one of the top wide receivers in the game. And this year, I think they move him down even further. I think he drops to a gold. Purely just because he's just been injured a lot, and that makes his stats pretty trash, honestly. I could see them moving him up later in the season, giving him some better cards, but for now, I think Dez sits at around an 83 to 84. Another guy that's moving down is going to be DeAndre Hopkins. Now, he didn't have a terrible season, but I don't think he's up there, and he doesn't deserve an 87 overall like Evans and AJ Green. I think he should be an 85 or maybe even an 84. Moving down a bit, he's still a good wide receiver, but I don't know if he's going to be elite this year. One player that's really started to break out is Miami Dolphins wide receiver Jarvis Landry. You guys can see he got the midseason MVP card, and he started at only an 81 overall. I think he goes up to an 84. We could even see an 85. He has really, really good hands. He's not the biggest guy out there, but he will make you pay, like, one-on-one. He goes and gets balls that you would never think a guy of his size could go and get. So Jarvis Landry, 84, 85 overall. Deshaun Jackson, another guy, he's getting up there. I'm not sure what team his card's going to be on when I'm looking for him. Yeah, it's going to show up on Redskins. So Deshaun Jackson still got elite speed, even though he's getting up there in age. I think he goes up to an 81 or maybe even an 82 overall. He had a pretty good season. And Deshaun Jackson, this is a really good budget card at the beginning of the year because he always has really, really solid speed. Another card, unfortunately, that is going to be moving teams over to the Patriots is going to be Brandon Cooks. Started the year at 79, and I can see him being about an 83, 84 overall. Cooks is an absolute burner out there. He has really good speed. He's a very small player, not going to have good strength at all, but always going to have good speed, agility, acceleration. Catching is pretty good, and I can see him being an 83 or 84, but a guy on the Saints now, Michael Thomas, 68 overall here, but he's going to be at least an 82 to 83 overall. Really good season, arguably a better season than Brandon Cooks, and I'm glad to have this guy on our team. He looks like he's going to be a really solid wide receiver, and he's definitely going to get some elite cards next year. Amari Cooper from the Raiders. This guy, this is another really like borderline card. Crabtree had a really good year, and I think it kind of outshadowed Amari Cooper a bit. Both of them had really solid years. Amari Cooper, I think, moves up to maybe an 84. He's so borderline elite. A lot of people will say he is elite, but I don't know. He had a very similar season to Crabtree, and I don't see Crabtree moving up to an elite. So Amari Cooper could be stuck at around an 84 to begin the season. Wrapping it up here, we only have a few left that I want to talk about. Sammy Watkins, this guy, he's going to kind of regress down. I don't think he stays in an 83 overall. I think he goes down to 81. By no means is he a bad wide receiver. Like, not at all. He's still very good, but he's just going to move down a little bit, down to an 81. Alshon Jeffrey, this is going to be a big drop. Now, if he bounces back, he's going to get some good cards. Alshon Jeffrey, he's not going to be an 86. I think he could maybe only be an 81 overall. He had a really bad season, and now he is on the Eagles, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see how he does there, but he is definitely not an elite caliber player anymore. Just a couple left here. Terrell Pryor, this guy is going to show him on the Browns. I think it will. I'm pretty sure he's on the Redskins now. If he's not, then that would be unfortunate. But yeah, he's going to show up on the Browns. Terrell Pryor, obviously converting over from a quarterback in college to now a wide receiver. He's done really well. I think he's going to get an 81 overall. He's got good speed, got good size, got good hands. That's going to be a fun card to play with at the beginning of next year. And the final card that I want to talk about is going to be Brandon Marshall. Now, Brandon Marshall is going to be, I think, he's going to be on the Giants, but I'm pretty sure it still shows him on the Jets here. Brandon Marshall, this guy, the final downgrade of the episode, gonna drop from an 85, I think, down to about an 80 or 81 overall. If he bounces back, I can see him getting some better cards, but yeah, the speed's just not there. The acceleration, the agility, still got good. He can really go up and get those balls, so he's still gonna have good catching and good jumping, but just age is taking a toll on him. Hopefully he can have a better season and return to when he was just a dominant wide receiver 4 or 5 seasons ago. Guys, that is gonna wrap it up. If you have any suggestions for videos, make sure to leave them down in the comment section, because, I mean, honestly, there is not too much to do rather than just wait it out for next year, and I'm so excited. Thank you all so much for watching. Go out there, break some ankles, stay hungry, stay humble, and remember, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.